Edmund and Lucy. And this story is about something that happened to them when they were sent away from London during the war because of the air raids. They were sent to the house of an old professor who lived in the heart of the country, 10 miles from the nearest railway station and 2 miles from the nearest post office. He had no wife, and he lived in a very large house with a housekeeper called Mrs. Macready and 3 servants.
Just look at this. We fall on our feet and no mistake. This is going to be perfectly splendid. That old professor will let us do anything we like.
I think he's an old dear.
Oh, come off it. Don't go on talking like that.
What do you mean?
I mean talking like mother.
Edmund, time you're in bed.
Go to bed yourself.
Hadn't we all better go to bed? There's sure to be an argument over her talking here.
No, there won't. The Macready's deaf as a post, and the professor's not much better. I tell you, this is the sort of house where no one's going to mind what we do. It's about 10 minutes walk from here down to that dining room, and any amount of stairs and passages in between.
And what do you think you're doing? What's all this carrying on? Bite your tongues, all of you. Who do you think you are? My goodness me. Going down to the dining room, making a pilgrimage of it? The very idea. You'll do nothing of the sort, do you hear? Right. Now, tomorrow, we have tour guests arriving, and you are to stay well out of the way. Do you understand? Children are meant to be seen and not heard. And for the likes of you, not seen and not heard. Now, do you understand? Good. Now, off to bed with a lot of you, quick as lightning. Oh.
I told you so. What's that noise?
It's only a bird, silly.
It's an owl. Okay, right we are. It's time for bed. But I say, let's go exploring tomorrow. You might find anything in a place like this. Did you see those mountains as we came along? And the woods? There might be eagles.
There might be stags.
There'll be hawks.
Badgers.
Foxes.
Rabbits. Do stop grumbling, Edmund.
And what do you think of the Macready? What an old biddy. Making a pilgrimage to the dining room, you say? You'll do nothing of the kind. Children are to be seen and not heard.
Oh, Edmund, stop it. What's a little rain? 10 to 1 will clear up in an hour or so.
And in the meantime, we're pretty well off. There's a wireless and lots of books. And in spite of what Macready says, so much to explore. I bet this house is bigger on the inside than on the outside.
Is it? Let's find out. Let's explore. I bet there's trapdoors.
And hidden staircases.
And secret passageways.
And ghosts and goblins and witches and bat wings. Ooh, I'm scared already.
This must be a simply enormous wardrobe. Goodness me, it's so dark in here! Cold? What's this? Ouch! A tree? A pine tree? And this! My word, it's snow!
Oh, goodness gracious me!
Good evening.
Good evening! Good evening. I don't want to be inquisitive, but should I be right in thinking you're a daughter of Eve?
My name's Lucy.
But you are. Forgive me. You are what they call a girl.
Of course I'm a girl.
And you are in fact human?
Of course I'm human.
To be sure, to be sure. How stupid of me. You see, I've never seen a son of Adam or a daughter of Eve before. I'm delighted. That is to say, delighted. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tumnus.
I'm very pleased to meet you, Mr. Tumnus. Oh, you shake it.
Ah, and how have you come into Narnia?
Narnia? What's that?
Why, this is the land of Narnia. Narnia, all that lies between that lamppost and the great castle of Cair Paravel on the eastern sea. And you've come from the wild woods of the west.
I got into the wardrobe in the spare room.
Ah, if only I'd worked harder in geography. That's a little fun. I should no doubt know those strange countries.
But there aren't countries at all. It's only just back there. At least, I'm not sure. It's summer there.
Meanwhile, it is winter in Narnia, and we shall both catch cold if we stand here talking in the snow. Daughter of Eve from the far land of Spare where eternal summer reigns around the bright city of Wardrobe. How would it be if you came and had tea with me?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tumnus, but I was wondering whether I ought to be getting back.
Oh, but it's just around the corner, and there'll be a roaring fire, and toast, and sardines, and cake.
Well, it's very kind of you, but I shan't be able to stay long.
Daughter of Eve, if you just take my arm, I shall be able to show you the way. Now off we go.
Now
Why, thank you. Come in. Don't be shy. Do sit down.
2 chairs right by the fire.
Yes, one for me and one for a friend. Now, daughter of Eve, is it really summer where you come from?
Why, yes, it is, Mr. Tumnus.
Summer in Narnia? How long has it been? How we used to dance under the stars. How the nymphs, they live in the wells, and the dryads, they live in the trees, would frolic by the moon. How we would dance and sing and drink deep from streams that ran with wine, not water. And how we feasted until the sun rose, then raced off to catch the milk-white stag, who could grant you wishes if you caught him. And the whole forest would give itself up to jollification for weeks on end. Not that it isn't always winter now.
What was that? Always winter now? Oh dear, Mr. Tumnus, I really must go home now. I only meant to stay for a few minutes.
Go home? I'm afraid that's no good now.
No good? What do you mean? I've got to go home at once. The others will be wondering what has happened to me. Mr. Tumnus, whatever is the matter? Aren't you well? What's the matter? Oh dear, Mr. Tumnus, what on earth are you crying about?
I'm crying because I'm such a bad fawn.
I don't think you're a bad fawn at all. I think you're a very good fawn. The nicest fawn I've ever met.
No, you wouldn't say that if you knew. No, I'm a bad fawn. I'm a real bad fawn. I'm the worst fawn since the beginning of the world.
But what have you done?
I'm in the pay of the White Witch.
The White Witch? Who's she?
Why, it is she who has all of Narnia under her thumb. It is she who makes it always winter, but never Christmas. Just think of that.
How awful. But what does she pay you for?
Oh, that's the worst of it. She pays me to kidnap poor, innocent children. I have orders from the White Witch that if I'm to see a son of Adam or a daughter of Eve in the wood, I'm to invite it home, lull it to sleep, and then hand it over to her.
Oh, Mr. Tumnus, I'm sure you wouldn't do anything like that.
I already have! You were that child! I pretended to be your friend, invited you over for tea, all while meaning to wait till you were asleep and go and tell her. And if I don't go through with it, well, she's sure to find out. She'll have my tail cut off, my horns sawn off, and my beard plucked out. And if she's extra and especially angry, well, she'll turn me to stone.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Please let me go home.
I will. I must. I see that now. I hadn't known what humans were like before I met you. Of course I can't hand you over to the White Witch. I'll take you as far as the lamppost. I suppose you can find your own way from there, back to Spare and Wardrobe.
I'm sure I can.
Quickly and quietly, the whole wood is full of her spies. Even some of the trees are on her side. Farewell, daughter of Eve.
Goodbye, Mr. Tumnus.
Dear child, can you ever forgive me for what I meant to do?
Why, yes, Mr. Tumnus, of course I can.
Farewell.
I'm here. I've come back. I'm all right.
What on earth are you talking about, Lucy?
Why, haven't you all been wondering where he was?
So you've been hiding, have you? Poor old Lou. Hiding and nobody noticed. You'll have to hide longer than that if you want people to start looking for you.
But I've been away for hours and hours. Batty. Quite batty.
What do you mean, Lou?
Just what I said. It was after breakfast when I went to the wardrobe. And I've been away for hours and hours. I had tea, and all sorts of things have happened.
Don't be silly, Lucy. We were all in this room only 5 minutes ago, and you were there then.
She's not being silly at all. She's just making up a story for fun. Aren't you, Lou? And why shouldn't she?
No, Peter, I'm not. It's a magic wardrobe. There's a wood inside it, and there's a fawn and a witch. And it's called Narnia. Come and see. Now, go and see for yourselves.
Why, you goose? It's just an ordinary wardrobe. Look, there's the back of it.
A jolly good hoax, Sue. You really have taken us in, I must admit. We half believed you.
But it wasn't a hoax at all. Really and truly. It's all different a moment ago. Honestly, it was. I promise.
Come, Lou, let's go a bit far. You've had your joke. Hadn't you better drop it now?
There she goes again. Ha! I'll get her this time. There once was a lunatic girl who went for a lunatic whirl. She really was batty and ever so catty and... I say, Lou! Lucy! Where are you? I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I see now you were right all along. Do come out. Just like a girl, sulking somewhere and won't accept an apology.
Stop! And what, pray, are you? Come here, speak.
My name's Edmund.
Is that how you address a queen?
I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. I didn't know you were a queen.
Not know the Queen of Narnia. Ha! You shall know us better hereafter. But I repeat, what are you?
Please, Your Majesty, I don't know what you mean.
Are you a great, overgrown dwarf that has cut off its beard?
No, Your Majesty. I've never had a beard. I'm a boy.
A boy? Do you mean you are a son of Adam? You see, you are an idiot, whatever else you may be. Answer me, once and for all, or I shall lose my patience. Are you human?
Yes, Your Majesty.
And how, pray, did you come to enter my dominion?
Please, Your Majesty. I came in through a wardrobe. I opened the door and just found myself here.
A door. A door from the world of humans. I have heard of such things. This may wreck all. But he is only one and easily dealt with. Oh, but my poor child, how cold you look. Come, sit with me. Perhaps something hot to drink. Should you like that?
Yes, please, Your Majesty.
It is dull, son of Adam, to drink without eating. What would you like best to eat?
Turkish delight, Your Majesty.
Pray tell, son of Adam, are you alone?
No, Your Majesty. I have a brother and 2 sisters. In fact, my sister has only been to Narnia. I met a fawn.
So there are 4 of you. Only 4? 2 sons of Adam and 2 daughters of Eve. Son of Adam, neither more nor less?
Yes, Your Majesty. Is there any more Turkish delight?
Son of Adam, I would very much like to see your brothers and your 2 sisters. Will you bring them to visit me?
I'll try.
Because if you did come again, and to my house, I would be able to give you more Turkish delight. It is a lovely place, my house. There are whole rooms full of Turkish delight.
But why can't we go to your house now?
Oh, but if I took you there now, I shouldn't see your brother and your sisters, and I very much want to know your charming relations.
But there's nothing
Edmund.
special about them. I could always bring them some other time.
I would like a nice boy to bring up as a prince, and I would like to make you that prince, because you are by far the handsomest and the cleverest boy I have ever met. And if I took you to my house now, you would be enjoying yourself so much, you might forget all about them. No, you must go back to your own country now and fetch them here. Can you see those 2 little hills rising above the trees?
I think I can.
Well, my house lies between those 2 hills. So the next time you come, you have only to find those hills, walk through the wood until you reach my house. But remember, you must bring the others with you. I might have to be very angry with you if you came alone.
I'll do my best.
And, by the way, you needn't tell them about me. It would be fun to keep it a secret between us, wouldn't it? Just bring them along. A clever boy like you will easily think of some excuse for doing that. And when you come to my house, you could just say, "Oh, let's see who lives here," or something like that. So off you go.
Oh, please, couldn't I have just one more piece of Turkish delight to eat on the way home?
No. You must wait till next time. Don't forget, come soon.
Wardrobe after all. I'll say I'm sorry if you like. Just where on earth have you been?
I've been having lunch with dear Mr. Tumnus, the fawn, and he's very well. The White Witch has done nothing to him for letting me go, so he thinks she can't have found out.
The White Witch? Who's she?
She's a perfectly terrible person. She calls herself the Queen of Narnia, though she has no right to be queen at all. And all the fauns and dryads, naiads, and dwarves and animals, at least the good ones, simply hate her. And she can turn people to stone and do all kinds of horrible things. And she had made of magic, so it's always winter here in Narnia. Always winter, but it never gets to Christmas.
Who told you all this stuff about the White Witch?
Why, Mr. Tumnus, the fawn.
How could you be so stupid? Don't you know you can't always believe what fawns say? But I'm cold. Let's go home.
Yes, let's. Oh, Edmund, I'm so glad. The others will have to live in Narnia now that both of us have been there. What fun it will be. I say, Edmund, you do look awful. Don't you feel well?
Oh, do hush up. I'm all right.
What's all this about, Ed?
Tell us, Edmund.
Oh yes, Lucy and I have been playing, right Lou? Pretending that her country of a story in the wardrobe is true. Just for fun, of course. There's nothing there, really.
How could you, Edmund? I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. You can tell the professor, or you can write to Mother, or you can do anything you like. I know I've met a fawn in there, and I wish I'd stay there. You're a beast! Beast!
Look here. You've been perfectly beastly to Luke ever since she started this nonsense about the wardrobe, and now you go playing games with her about it and setting her off again.
Do stop it! It won't make anything better having a row between you two. I'm fetching the professor.
But it's all nonsense, I tell you.
Of course it's all nonsense. That's just the point. Lou was perfectly alright when we left home, but since we've been here, she seems to be either going queer in the head, or else turned into a most frightful liar. But whichever it is, what good do you think you'll do by jeering and nagging at her one day and encouraging her the next?
Hello, children. What seems to be the matter?
It's Lucy, sir. There's something very wrong with her. She seems to think she has found an imaginary country in the wardrobe, of all things, and that Edmund has found it too. She keeps going on about fauns and dryads and naiads, and we keep telling her it's all in her head. It's all getting beyond us, sir.
Well, what makes you think your sister's story is not true?
But Edmund said they'd only been pretending.
Well, that is certainly a point that deserves consideration. Very careful consideration. For instance, if you'd excuse me for asking the question, would your experience lead you to regard your brother or your sister as the more reliable? I mean, which is the more truthful?
That's just the funny thing about it, sir. Up till now, I'd have said Lucy every time.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think, my dear?
Well, in general, I'd say the same as Peter. But this couldn't be true. All this stuff about the wood and the fawn?
That is more than I know, and a charge of lying against someone who you've always found to be truthful is a very serious thing. A very serious thing indeed.
We thought, sir, that it mightn't even be lying. We were worried that there might be something wrong with Lucy.
Something wrong? Like madness? You can make your minds easy about that. One has only to look at her and to speak with her to see that she is not mad. There are only three possibilities. Either she is lying, or she is mad, or she is telling the truth. And you know that she doesn't tell lies, and it is obvious that she is not mad. For the moment then, and unless any further evidence turns up, we must assume she is telling the truth.
But how could it be true, sir?
Why do you say that?
Well, sir, for one thing, if it was true, why doesn't everyone find this country every time they go into the wardrobe? I mean, there was nothing there when we looked. Even Lucy didn't pretend there was.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Well, sir, if things are real, they're there all the time.
Are they?
But Professor, there was no time. Lucy had no time to have gone anywhere, even if there was such a place. She came running after us the very moment we were out of the room. It was less than a minute, and she pretended she'd have been away for hours.
That is the very thing that makes her story so likely to be true. If there really is a door in this house that leads to some other world, and I should warn you that this is a very strange house, and even I know very little about it. If I say there is a door that leads to some other world, I should not be at all surprised to learn that this other world has a separate time of its own, so that however long you are there, it wouldn't take up any of our time. On the other hand, I don't think many girls of her age would invent this idea for themselves. If she had been pretending, she would have stayed hidden for a reasonable time before coming out and telling her story.
But, sir, do you really mean that there could be other worlds all over the place, just around the corner, just like that?
Nothing is more probable. Logic. Why don't they teach logic at these schools?
But what are we to do?
My dear young lady, there is one plan which no one has yet suggested, and which is well worth trying.
What's that?
We might all try minding our own business.
Oh no, not again. I can't decide what I hate more, the rain or the suffocating old house.
Ladies and gentlemen, please step this way. May I have your attention? We are moving now to the second floor.
It's the Macready and her confounded guests. Sharp's the word.
As we climb the staircase, please note the exquisite chandelier on the first landing, a splendid example of 17th century French crystal. Once we reach the east parlor, I will be pointing out the glorious woodwork. It's astonishing and renowned all over England. Now come on, follow me.
What shall we do?
Quick! Let's hide in the wardrobe. She'll never look in there.
There's something sticking into my back.
And isn't it cold? Let's put on these coats. It's not as if we're taking them from the wardrobe.
Now that you mention it, it is cold. And wet, too. What's the matter with this place? I'm leaning on something wet.
And I'm standing against a tree. And look, it's getting light over there.
By Jove, you're right. And look there. And there. It's trees all around. And this wet stuff is snow. Why, I do believe we've gotten to Lucy's wood after all. I apologize for not believing you. I'm sorry. Will you shake hands?
Of course I will.
And now, what do we do next?
What about going to see Mr. Tumnus? He's the nice fawn I told you all about.
I have an idea. If we go past the lamppost this way, we'll come to a place where you can see two hills in the distance. I hear there's a wonderful, warm castle.
What castle? Why, do go on, Edmund.
Ah, a wonderful castle in between them.
So you really were here that time Lou said she'd met you here. And you made out she was telling lies of all the poisonous little beasts. But what's this? A former occupant of these woods, the fawn Tumnus, is under arrest and awaiting his trial on a charge of high treason against Her Imperial Majesty Jadis, Queen of Narnia, Chatelaine of Periville, Empress of the Lone Islands, also of comforting her said Majesty's enemies, harboring spies, and fraternizing with humans. Signed, Malgrim, Captain of the Secret Police. Long live the Queen. Who is this Queen, Lou? Do you know anything about her?
She isn't a real queen at all. She's a horrible witch. The White Witch. Everyone, all the wood people, hate her. She has made an enchantment over the whole country. So it's always winter and never Christmas.
Look! What's that?
Why? I think it's a beaver standing on its hind legs. I saw its tail, but it's awfully big for a beaver. It almost looks as if it wants to say something to us.
Actually, I think he wants us to follow him. Please, Mr. Beaver, could you tell us where Mr. Tumnus the fawn has been taken to? Oh dear, what should we do?
If I follow him, of course. I think he might be a nice beaver.
Well, we might as well try it.
Well, of all the poisonous little beasts, you think you're so smart. I'll pay you all out for this, you pack of stuck-up, self-satisfied prigs.
Here we are, Mrs. Beaver. I found them. Here are the sons and daughters of Adam and Eve.
So you've come at last. At last. To think that I ever should live to see this day. Well, the potatoes are on, boiling, and the cattle is singing, and I dare say Mr. Beaver will get us some fish.
Supper?
That I will.
Why, yes, dearies.
And now, do please tell us what's happened to Mr. Tumnus.
Oh, that's bad. A very, very bad business indeed. There's no doubt he was taken off by the police. And I got that from a bird that saw it done.
But where has he been taken to?
To her. And there's not many taken to her that ever returns. Statues. They say her house is full of statues. In the courtyard, up the stairs, in the halls. People that she's turned into stone.
Oh, Mr. Beaver, can't we do something to save him? Oh, this is so dreadful, and it's all on my account.
There, dearie. I don't doubt you'd save him if you could. But there is no chance of getting into her house and ever coming out alive again.
Couldn't we come up with something? A plan of some kind? Couldn't we just sneak in when she was out somewhere?
There's no point in any of us trying, my good lad. That is, not with her magic wand and all. But now, they say that Aslan has landed and is on the move.
Who is Aslan?
Oh, yes.
Tell us about Aslan.
Aslan? Why don't you know? He's the king. He's the lord over all the wood, but not often here, you understand. Never in my time or my father's time. But now word has reached us that he has come back. He's in Narnia at this very moment. He'll settle the White Queen all right. It's he, and not you, that will save Mr. Tumnus. He'll put all to rights, like it says in an old rhyme. Wrong will be right when Aslan comes in sight. At the sound of his roar, sorrows will be no more. When he bares his teeth, winter meets its death. And when he shakes his mane, we shall have spring again. When Adam's flesh and Adam's bone sits at Cair Paravel enthroned, the evil time will be over and done. You'll understand when you meet him.
But when shall we meet him?
Why, daughter of Eve, that's why I brought you here. I'm to take you where you shall meet him.
Is he a man?
Aslan, a man? Certainly not. He's the king of the wood and the son of the great emperor beyond the sea. Aslan is a lion. The lion. The great lion.
A lion. I shall feel rather nervous about meeting a lion.
Me too. Is he safe?
Of course he's unsafe, dear child. But he's good. He's the king.
I don't know what it is, but I'm longing. We're all longing to see him.
And so you shall. Word has been sent that we are to meet him tomorrow, if you can, at the stone table.
The stone table? What's that?
I'll show you. It's down the river, a good step from here. I'll take you to it.
I say, where's Edmund?
Who saw him last?
How long has he been missing?
Is he outside?
Oh no, how perfectly dreadful.
What on earth are we to do, Mr. Beaver?
We must leave at once. We haven't a moment to spare.
She was jolly nice to me. Much nicer than they are. I expect she's the rightful queen, no matter what they say. She's a lot better than that awful Aslan. One thing's for sure. When I'm king of Narnia, the first thing I shall do is to make some decent roads. I knew it. It's only a statue. I've been frightened by a mere statue. The statue of a lion. This is probably the great lion Aslan that they were all talking about. The witch has already caught him and turned him into stone. So that's the end of him. Yeah, silly old Aslan. How do you like being a stone? Thought of yourself mighty fine, didn't you?
Who's there? Who is there? Stand still, stranger, and tell me who you are.
If you please, sir. My name is Edmund, and I'm the son of Adam that your majesty met in the wood the other day. And I've come to bring her the news that my brother and sisters are now in Narnia. Quite close, in the beaver's house. She wanted to see them.
I will tell her majesty, but meanwhile, stand still on the threshold as you value your life.
I've come, your majesty.
How dare you come alone? Did I not tell you to bring the others with you?
Please, your majesty. I've done the best I can. I've brought them quite close. They're with Mr. and Mrs. Beaver on top of the dam just up the river.
Is this all your news?
No, your majesty. I don't know if this is true, but according to Mr. Beaver, Aslan has already landed and is on the move.
What? Aslan? Aslan? Is this true if I find you have lied to
Please,
me?
your majesty, I'm only repeating what they said.
Take with you the swiftest of your wolves and go at once to the house of the beaver and kill all that you find there. If they are already gone, then make all speed to the stone table. Above all, do not be seen.
I hear and obey, O queen.
Don't just stand there, you idiot. Make ready our sledge and use the harness without bells.
Edmund! Edmund!
shall be very angry.
There's no point in looking for him, my dears.
What do you mean there's no point? He can't be far away yet. We've got to find him.
The reason there is no use in looking, sweetheart, is because we know already where he has gone.
Don't you understand? He's gone to her, to the White Witch. He has betrayed us all.
Surely he couldn't have done that.
Can he? Has he been in this country before? Has he ever been here alone?
Yes, I'm afraid he has.
Then mark our words. He has already met the White Witch, joined her side, and been told where she lives. I didn't want to say anything before, my dear children, he being your brother and all, but the moment I set eyes on that brother of yours, I said to myself, treacherous.
Yes, he had the look of one who has been with a witch and eaten her food.
What was that? Is it her? Is it the White Witch?
Quick, hide!
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on one open sleigh. Oh, come out, all of you. Dear Mistress Beaver, dear children, please come out. How can you be afraid of a jolly old elf like me?
Father Christmas? Is it you?
Oh,
is it
my
really
dear
you?
Beaver, it is me!
It's okay! Come out, Mrs. Beaver! Come out,
Mrs.
sons and
Beaver.
daughters of Adam! It's
children.
all right! It's not her!
Oh.
Why, this is a nasty knock for the witch! Her power has already begun to crumble!
What do you mean, Mr. Beaver?
Didn't I tell you? She had made it so that it was always winter, but never Christmas. But just come and see!
It is, but do not be afraid. She has kept me out for a long time, but now I am in at last. Her power is beginning to weaken, and Aslan is on the roof.
Oh, Father Christmas, you're so big and glad and real.
Oh, I am so big. But now for the presents. Dear Mrs. Beaver, for you, I have a new and better
Sewing machine?
God's sewing machine.
Thank you.
Use it. Use it with great care. And make lots of clothes for the children of Adam and Eve. And you, Mr. Beaver, yes, Mr. Beaver, when you get home, you will find your dam ready. It is fixed and all the leaks stopped. Ah, Peter, son of Adam.
Here, sir.
This is your present. Now, these are tunes, and they are not toys. The time has come, perhaps, when they should be used. Susan! Susan, daughter of Eve, use these with great care, because when fired, the arrows they rarely miss. And this horn, this horn. When you put the horn to your lips, put the horn to your lips and blow. Wherever you are, someone will come and help you. Ah, little Lucy, daughter of Eve. Lucy, in this bottle, there is a liquid. It is made from the juices of the fire flowers that grow on the Sun Mountain. If you and your friends, if you get hurt, a few drops, it will restore you. And this dagger, it is for your protection, and use it with great care.
What is the meaning of this? Why aren't we moving?
It's the snow, Your Majesty. It's melting.
do you have to say for yourself? Speak up, vermin, or do you want my dwarf to find you a tongue with her whip? Don't just sit there. Get out and help, the both of you.
It's no use, Your Majesty. We can't sled in this fog.
Then we must walk.
We shall never overtake them walking, not with the start that they've got.
Are you my counselor or my slave? Do as you're told. Tie the hands of the human creature behind it, and keep hold of the end of the rope. Faster! Faster!
It is no use, O Queen. They must have reached the stone table by now. This is no thaw, O Queen. This is spring. What are we to do? Your winter has been destroyed. This is Aslan's doing?
If either of you mention that name again, he shall instantly be killed. Nevertheless, consider the prophecy. 4 thrones in Cair Paravel. Is that not how it reads?
Yes, O Queen.
And how if only 3 were filled? Aslan's precious prophecy would be undone.
And yet, it might be better to keep this for bargaining with.
Yes, and have him rescued, not on your life, daughter of Earth. We must do what we must do. Prepare the victim, and then in the meantime, summon Morgrim and have him gather our people. Call the giants and the werewolves, and the spirit of those trees who were on our side. Call the ghouls and the boggles, and the stone people. Call the hags, the cruels, the specters, and the spirit of the toadstools. What? Have I not still my wand? Will not Aslan's ranks turn to stone even as they come on? We will fight.
Go on.
No, you first.
No. Sons and daughters matter before animals.
Susan, what about you? Ladies first.
No, you're the eldest. Come on, dearies. Pull yourself together.
We have come, Aslan.
Welcome. Rise, Peter, son of Atom. Rise, Susan and Lucy, daughters of Eve. Rise, he-beaver and she-beaver. But where is the 4th?
He has tried to betray them and join the White Witch, O Aslan. But that may have been partly my fault, Aslan. I was angry with him, and I think that might have helped him to go wrong.
Please, Aslan, can't anything be done to save Edmund?
All will be done, though it may be harder than you think. In the meantime, let the feast be prepared. Go and make yourselves ready. Come, son of Atom, and I will show you a far-off sight. That, O man, is Cair Paravel of the 4 thrones. In one you must sit as High King. Peter, it is your sister's horn. Hand me your sword, son of Adam, and kneel. Rise, Sir Peter, Wolf's Bane, and whatever happens, never forget to wipe your sword.
Let him lie down! Give him some wine. There, drink this. Steady now. You'll be all right in a minute.
Edmund!
Oh, Edmund!
Peter, here is your brother, and remember, there is no need to talk of what is past.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry. That's okay. Sorry.
We're just happy to have you back.
Sire, there is a messenger from the enemy that craves audience.
Let her approach. What is your message, daughter of Earth?
The Queen of Narnia and the Empress of the Lone Islands desire safe conduct to come and speak with you.
Queen of Narnia, indeed, of all the cheek.
Peace, she-beaver.
Aslan, you have a traitor here.
Well, his offense was not against you.
Have you forgotten the deep magic?
Let's say I have forgotten it. Tell us of this deep magic.
Tell you? Tell you what is written on the stone table? You at least know the magic which the Emperor put into Narnia at the very beginning. You know that every traitor belongs to me as my lawful prey, and that for every treachery, I have a right to a kill.
Oh, so that's how you came to imagine yourself a queen? Because you were the Emperor Hangman? I see.
Peace, she-beaver.
And so, this human creature belongs to me. His life is forfeit to me, and his blood is my property.
Come and take it then!
Fool. Do you really think your master can rob me of my rights by mere force? Aslan knows the deep magic better than that. He knows that unless I have blood, as the law says, all Narnia will be overturned and perish in fire and water.
It is very true. I do not deny it. Fall back, all of you. I will talk to the witch alone.
Oh, Peter. Oh, Edmund. Can't we do something about the deep magic? Isn't there something we can work against the Emperor's magic?
Work against the Emperor's magic?
I have settled the matter. She has renounced her claim on your brother's blood.
But how do I know this promise will be kept?
Can't you sleep either?
Was I keeping you awake? I'm sorry if I was.
No, you weren't.
I say, Susan, I feel this horrible feeling. I feel as if something were hanging over us.
Have you? Because as a matter of fact, so have I.
Something about Aslan. Either something dreadful is going to happen to him, or something dreadful he's going to do.
He's been acting strange all afternoon. Lucy, you don't think he could be stealing away and leaving us tonight, do you?
Susan, look!
Oh, children, children, why are you following me?
We couldn't sleep, Aslan.
May we come with you, wherever you're going?
Well, I should be glad of company tonight. Yes, you may come, if you promise to stop when I tell you, and then leave me to go on alone.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, and we will.
No, I'm sad and lonely. Lay your hand on my mane so I can feel you are there. and let us walk like this. Oh, children, children, here you must stop, and whatever happens, do not let yourselves be seen. Farewell.
The fool has come. Bind him fast. Bind him, I say. And now, who has won? Did you think by all this that you would save the human traitor? Now, I will kill you instead of him, as our pact was. And so, the deep magic will be appeased. But when you are dead, what is to prevent me from killing him as well? And who will take him from my hand then? Understand, you have given me Narnia forever. You have lost your own life, and you have not saved his. In that knowledge, despair and die! Follow me all, and we will set about what remains of this war. It will not take long to crush the human vermin and the traitors, now that the great fool, the great cat, lies dead.
Aslan! Oh, Aslan! I can't bear these horrible roads. I wonder, could we take them off?
I'm so cold. What about you?
So am I. What's that?
I don't know! Something awful's happening!
They're doing something worse to him. Oh no! No! Say, so Aslan dear. Oh no! No! Where's the body? Why couldn't they just leave it alone?
Who's done this? What does it mean? Is it magic?
It is magic!
Aslan! But aren't you dead, dear Aslan?
Not anymore.
You're not
Do I look it?
Oh, you're real! You're real, Aslan!
But what does all this mean?
It means that though the witch knew the deep magic, there is a magic deeper still which she did not know. Her knowledge goes back only to the dawn of time. But if she could have looked a little further back into the darkness and the stillness before time itself dawned, she would have read there a different incantation. She would have known that when a willing victim who has committed no treachery is killed in a traitor's stead, that the stone table would crack and death itself would start working backwards. And now...
Oh yes, now?
Oh, children, I feel my strength coming back to me. Oh, children, catch me if you can. Oh. Oh. And now to business. Put your fingers in your ears, dear ones. We have a long journey ahead of us. Come with me.
What an extraordinary place. All these stone animals and people too. It's like a museum.
Hush, Aslan's doing something.
Aslan, I found Mr. Tumnus. Oh, do come quick.
Goodness gracious me! I must have fallen asleep. Dear girl, is that you? Dear Lucy, is that really you? Oh, joy! Oh, joy, I thought I'd lost you forever!
If the witch is to be defeated, we must prepare for battle, and at once. Look lively and sort yourselves. Peter, Edmund, rally the troops and be sure each is properly armed.
Yes, sire. It was all Edmund's doing, Aslan. We'd have been beaten if it wasn't for him. The witch was turning our troops into stone right and left. Once her wand was broken, we began to have some chance. He wouldn't be stopped.
Quick, Lucy.
Well, yes, the cordial.
Hurry, Lucy dear. There are others.
Yes, Aslan.
Once a king or a queen of Narnia, always a king or a queen. Bear it well, sons of Atom. Bear it well, daughters of Eve.
Where is Aslan gone to? Well, he will be coming and going. One day you'll see him and another you won't. He doesn't like being tied down, and of course, he has other countries to attend to. That's quite all right. He will often drop in. Only you must impress him. He's wild, you know, not like a tame lion.
Peter, Susan, Edmund, Lucy, the kettle is singing, and tea is about to be served.
What? The Macready?
There's no mistaking that voice.
Children, the professor has asked that you come immediately. Peter, Susan, Edmund, Lucy, now stop your nonsense and come immediately.
Quick, to the lantern waist, and not a moment to lose.
Peter, Susan, Edmund and Lucy, I said hurry, the professor is waiting. What is it about the word hurry that you don't understand? Oh. And where did you get those outlandish clothes? My goodness gracious me, what nonsense. Sit down at once. Now, you better mind your P's and Q's. The professor does not do with such outlandishness, and one cookie at a time.
Welcome, children. It looks like you've had quite an adventure. Just where have you been?
Well, sir, begging your pardon, I don't think you'd believe us if we told you.
Wouldn't I? Bless me, what do they teach them in these schools?